ARCA series, fire in our soul. Wheels keep turning, never lose control. Spark ARCA series, racing through the fight. Born for glory, built for flight. Spark ARCA series, fire in our soul. Wheels keep turning, never lose control. Spark ARCA series, racing through the fight. Born for glory, built for flight. Spark ARCA series, fire in our soul. Wheels keep turning, never lose control. Spark ARCA series, racing through the fight. Born for glory, built for flight.
If it's Monday, it's time for the Shark Monkey Golf ARCA series. And yeah, coming at you live tonight from Old Daytona on iRacing here. You know, hey, they still have the old version, the '08, the bumpy Daytona as people call it. This should be a very exciting show here tonight. And yeah, this is Johnny Rapp in the booth with Justin Wilson here with Slingshot TV. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting evening. Man, Justin, tell us a little bit about the differences between the current Daytona and this old version that we are running tonight.
Well, I mean, this version tonight, I mean, a lot of very old iRacing guys understand this track is extremely bumpy. And let me tell you, when I first got into VR, running iRacing in VR, I actually got motion sickness driving around this track, just genuinely how bumpy it is. So these cars are going to be, you're not going to really see them hug the bottom, but it seems like the smoothest lines are going to be from that mid lane, that second lane up. So it's going to be very curious to see. Some people may just take it down there and see, but as you can even see in a little bit of practice that we've seen, they are running that little bit higher line.
Yep, it definitely it can be deceiving too, right? Like the line isn't painted exactly where the the apron starts at some parts of the track, and yeah, it's definitely a unique combo. And hey, we're gonna try it out with these new ARCA cars, and yeah, this is our first race, our preseason race, right? So kind of a little precursor to what we'll see next week when the season fires off, and I'll tell you what, we're really excited to see it.
Yeah, definitely look forward to it. I mean, granted, the first race of the season is nowhere near as big as this racetrack, but it's a good shakedown for these guys and kind of get a feel for each other for what they expect going into this season.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and I'll tell you what, we're going to go over our check out kind of what's going on here in practice right now. Looks like Evan Piente is going to be top of the boards, but obviously, once we get into qualifying, they won't have a pack of cars to draft off of, so all of this could change, but
Yeah, I've definitely been seeing a lot of packs that have been forming, but I'm going to tell you what, these guys are getting real sketchy, like you had mentioned, pushing in the corners. We've seen a lot of crashes here in practice just from them, trying to see what they can get away with in these corners. But I'm going to tell you what, though, tonight we're going to be seeing a lot of these new paint schemes coming across, and I'm telling you, Johnny, I'm seeing quite a few good ones out here.
yeah. And Evan Pienta, outside of the missing headlight, is one of those new paint jobs. Yeah, hey, it's what is it? Some sort of energy drink? I don't know. Never heard of that one, but
Yeah, I can't say that I have either, but let's take a look at it here. It's like Zoa Energy. I'll have to check that out.
yep, something new for Evan. And then, yeah, our Wednesday commentator is making his official Spark debut here in the number 30. Got that Cletus McFarland paint job. See him roasting the tires out of pit road here. Yeah, Logan's been great to us on Wednesdays, and we're excited to see him for the truck series here.
I'm going to give a shout out because to Dave Krajewski's paint scheme. It's kind of a throwback. I'm going to tell you what, I love me a good old Mark Martin car.
Yeah, it's definitely man, it's smooth paint. I believe that was made by Robert Probst. Yeah, that gold. He hit the gold perfectly there. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah. Yeah, with that said, I think we can there's another gold car. James Danforth with Evan Pienta Designs paint, and man, that one looks good too. I'll tell you what, those car that number 88 always looks good, no matter what night of the week it is.
What are you, a fan of the 88?
That one, yeah. Let's see if we can find somebody else that's on track here, and yeah. So go over our schedule real quick. There we go. Yeah. So obviously this is a preseason race, but you can find it right here next week, next Monday. 5 flags, 125 laps in these ARCA cars. Start of the season. We're really looking forward to it, and in that, it's going to be a fun show. We're going from a short track to I don't know, man. Do you call Rockingham a short track? I don't think you can. But man, that place is that's going to be one of my favorite races of the season, I believe.
Yeah, Rockingham is a really, really good, tough track. It's a driver's track. Then we have that off week, and then we come right back to another short track of Bristol.
Yeah, Bristol, Iowa, so and Bullring, so we got really 3 short tracks right in a row, and then we're off to Talladega for more of what we're going to see tonight, and that'll set us up for the final stretch where we got Watkins Glen and then a non-points exhibition at Knoxville. That's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, you could take us through the end there.
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk about Knoxville too, because I did a little race here with you guys, kind of like a little practice race, and we were at a dirt track. And let me tell you, these things are a blast on the dirt track. So I'm looking forward to the Knoxville race. But Dover, obviously one of my favorites as well. Kern's a great racetrack as well. And then we end up at Kansas, and we're not going to talk about Kansas.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you what, I think Kansas has changed a little bit probably since the last time you ran it. The last couple of races I ran there was a lot of fun. Kind of got loose, and you really had to, use the throttle a lot. But, yeah, either way, it's going to be exciting. I mean, these cars with the kind of high downforce deal, maybe it'll be a little different, but yeah.
Yeah, we're only a few seconds away. Oh, Lord. Hold on. Take over.
Yeah, we're about to head into our qualifying session to see who will win the Evan Pienta Designs Pole Award tonight. Yeah, single car qualifying, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. See who can come home with that Designs Award. And yeah, the winner of that award at the end of the season, well, I guess it kind of doesn't count for the preseason race, but throughout the season, the most poles gets a free Evan Pienta Designs paint job. And you'll see plenty of his designs out there on the track tonight between him and Robert. And we got some, I think, a couple Justin Brooks Designs paints, and I have a couple out there, I think. And yeah, I mean, a lot of good painters in this league. And yeah, we're gonna see that in full force tonight. See Laura Wiseman out there, her Monday night debut with Spark. She ran a few races at the end of the Xfinity season on Wednesdays, but good to see Laura out here. Our Sunday night broadcaster Cam Gillens out here in the 07, making his ARCA debut. Maybe not Monday debut. I think he ran a few races in late models last season, but it's a pretty good looking car there. Advanced Auto Parts. We'll have to remember that one. James Danforth in the 88. I know we already talked about him, but man, that car is looking sharp. And hey, shout out to him too. He's doing all of our pictures this season. It's going to be exciting to see. He does a really good job with that. Back to the other gold car, Dave Grajewski, heading out of pit road here. See what he's able to do. What kind of time he can put on the board. It's like
All right.
Chris French
My apologies about
is.
that, Donnie.
Hey, you're good. Chris French is going to be the first one put down a time in that number 53 Toyota Camry. Nice matte black finish on that. Might have to find him some sponsors though. The car looks a little bare.
Anybody watching? Help the man out.
Yeah, we're seeing them all pile in now. We got Benson Weaver in the 1. Up in 5th place. New paint job for him. Now, he doesn't put a sponsor on his quarter panels on purpose. I'm not sure exactly the reasoning, but maybe some type of short track vibe or something he's going for with it. But hey, good looking car regardless.
Yeah, kind of looking through here. So, I've noticed, it's a lot different back from when, used to race quite a bit, but there's like a new kind of way of qualifying. You'll see some drivers that just take it out wide open, but then you see others that like wait and they just kind of cruise around on their little opening lap. So kind of curious to see if that kind of gives them that little bit of a 10th here that they're all looking for.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I think is pretty new, maybe within the last year. It's more about engine temp than tire temp, right? I don't know. It's odd. It's odd to do. I've never been able to get it down, but
Yeah, looks like Danforth is on only one right now that I see on track. He's taking his second lap now. Benson Weaver just completed his second.
And we see right now, looks like Chris Smith.
Yeah, Chris Smith. See, Chris Smith was
Top
one of
of
the
the
ones I was
boards.
talking about, right? I was kind of just watching him take his sweet time down the back straightaway on his outlap there, and you could see it just pays off.
Yes, it does. And you can catch Chris on Thursday nights with the Mystic Racing League broadcasting right here from Slingshot TV.
Yep, so qualifying's wrapping up here in the next 10 seconds or so, and I don't see anybody else on the track. So, yeah, I think this is pretty much going to sum up qualifying with Chris Smith, P1.
Absolutely. And hey, while we get our warm-up session out of the way here, actually, do we not have a warm-up? We do not have a warm-up. So,
We do not.
okay, that would have been good to know. I set the session up, so maybe I should have known. But we're going to get into our grid then, get right after it here. We just saw it. Christopher Smith starting first. Garrett Lane starting second. Then we have hang on. Having some camera issues here. There we go. Yeah, so Dan Berg, former slingshot driver, right? You know, hey, he's making his Spark debut, starting third here. Laura Wiesman starting fourth. We have Joey Stankiewicz, newcomer to Spark, starting fifth, out or inside of Evan Pienta. Scotty Phillips starting seventh. Ryan Rose starting eighth. Chris French in the number 53, starting ninth with Gavin Smith on his outside. We have Rob Liedel and James Danforth, 11th and 12th, followed by Dave Grachewski and Logan Threckelt. I probably said that wrong, sorry. We'll go back. We got Robert Bropst, Benson Weaver. Robert Bropst and Brian Bropst, the cousins, side by side. And then Benson Weaver and Scotty Sobczak, 17th and 18th. Behind them, we got Max Cost in 19th with Ryan Phillips starting 20th. Then Ryan Henkel and Jacob Nickerson, 21st and 22nd. James Barker and Jake Mackey, starting 23rd and 24th. Getting near the end here, bear with me. Then we have Paul Hahn and Cam Gillens, 25th and 26th, followed by Steve Vest rounding out the field.
Yeah, we're definitely kind of out of our norm here. Usually we got a little warm up to kind of get our thoughts together before this race, but not today, Johnny. We're going straight into it.
Yes, we are.
Well, I will say, though, I'm kind of curious to see what's going on, or what's going to happen, not what's going on. I already know what's going on. It's going to be a wild race. 40 laps, pretty short race, given for Daytona. So,
It's
yeah. But, I don't know, lost my train of thought, Johnny.
sorry, I threw you off. It's okay. I am thrown off right now too. So,
All right. Well, can you restart yours too then?
do I have to? I can.
Anyways, so we're not the only ones having some issues up here. I see our leaders up here blinking on the outside row here, but they get it squared away. And I'm back here looking at Robert Brobst, Tony the Tiger Machine. Didn't see that during warm up or during practice here, but Pace truck will be dipping off here, and we're going to be getting started underway for this season's clash. But I'm going to say this is the beginning of the season. Chris Smith is going to take the green for the first time this season in our ARCA series. And bear with me here, everyone at home. I've been getting over a kind of a cold here, so if my voice is cracky. Honestly, I just sound horrible, so never mind. I probably don't sound any different than I normally do.
It's okay. Everybody goes through it here, and I am also going through it because our overlays crashed here. So bear with us while we get that straightened out. But it looks like Garrett Lane's making that outside work with the help of Laura Wiesman. Chris Smith charging back on the inside.
Yeah,
there we go. We're back.
One of the things that we were talking about earlier is kind of the bumps and everything. So you see these cars just moving around all over the place, and honestly, it's not these guys. These guys are fighting it. I mean, this track is so aggressive and so bumpy. It is hard to keep these things still. It's not like you see it your typical kind of new age Daytona and Talladega that we have now.
Yeah, definitely a throwback. I kind of miss it, honestly, because, man, those cars just look cool, bouncing up and down. You know, they're really struggling for the handling aspect. And
well, I do know that, I mean, not necessarily in iRacing, but I know they say in real life that the bumps are starting to come back. Yes. Oh, man, we had a huge chain reaction back here with Dave Krajewski and Robert Brobst, but they were able to keep it together. Dade had to take like an evasive action onto the apron there. He was able to get it going.
Yeah, it looks like still able to stay with the pack. And yeah, we have, what, about 20 or so cars all still lined up in this front pack. Pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, but what do you think right now, too, Johnny? I mean, what do you think these guys' aggression level is right now? You think they're just trying to log laps, buy time, or you think they're trying to go for the track position early on?
Well, I'll tell you what I would be doing, and that's hanging back at the tail end of the lead pack, if possible, right? I don't want to be up there mixing it up, but really, I don't want to be mid-pack. So a lot of these guys that are running around, you know, 5th to 15th, you know, kind of all side by side there. That's not where I want to be. You either want to be leading or you want to be in the back.
Well, we've already, you know, just 4 laps into this race, we've already had separation between our lead pack and back here. Looks like Benson Weaver kind of lost the draft, and then we're back here with Jake Mackey, Ryan Phillips, and all them kind of single file back here.
Yeah, it's like a whole separate race back here. Definitely, what do we got, about 9 cars? And yep, trying to stay single file. Maybe there was a big checkup or something that we missed, but it's not where I would want to be.
No, but there's others that would beg to differ, right? These guys in the back could just be playing the long game, right? They're trying to stay out of the trouble from these guys up here in the front. Probably trying to jostle for position, you know, trying to get that lead. They're probably banking on a big wreck happening.
Yeah, the problem with that is, though, if you drop too far back, you got to really start pushing, and then you could end up being that big wreck. We see.
Yes, we see 3 wide back here with Scotty Phillips, Logan Threkheld. I hope I said that right. My apologies if I didn't. We'll get it right. 10 races or so. But they settle it back down, and we're back 2 wide. But, man, these cars are just bouncing.
Yeah, and that's saw right there with Evan Pianta, a little bit of a bump, but, man, these things are bouncing around so much, it kind of got him out of shape just a little bit.
So I'm definitely curious too, Johnny. I don't know if you've done a lot of driving with these, or if you know, but how long from these things from overheating after pushing? Because I've definitely seen some pushing back here with Jake Mockey trying to push Jacob Phillips up to this lead pack, but he had to bail out. So I know he was probably getting hot.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something you have to watch out for. We heard in the Ridden Plate series there were some issues with that. I didn't have it happen to me, but yeah, there was definitely some people warning everybody about pushing too long because the car would start to overheat, kind of I think it like just loses power. It won't blow up like most of them normally do. I think it just drops off some of the power. But
Oh, that's interesting. I'm just accustomed if you run it too hot too long, it just blows up.
I'm sure it will eventually. But
Yeah.
yeah, up front we got a Joey Stankowicz on the inside, newcomer to Spark. Hey, good debut so far in that number 64, putting the pressure on Chris Smith. Chris able to make that high line work with the help of Logan, and yes, side by side most of the way through the field here.
Yeah, we definitely need to go, man. I was about to say, but we're 3 wide up here in the lead pack. Chris French just took it through the middle, and it looks like, who is that stuck up on the outside? Is that Bropes stuck up on the outside? It looks like it is. In the 11, Brian Bropes. Sorry, we got to get used to the paint schemes. Everything's changed. Yeah, he kind of got left up high, and you can just see the the speed difference when you just get hung out. It's, oh, Laura is off into the grass back here. Gets it back straight. Laura Wiseman was, just leading this race not too, just a few laps ago. Big checkup happened right in front of her, and yeah, off into the grass she went, just taking a evasive. Man.
Yeah, it was definitely a good save. We saw a little wiggle from Evan Pienta there too, and yeah, good job by everybody there to keep it together. And man, I'll tell you what, we just saw him leading the pack, but things have shaken up front here. We got now Chris Smith still holding strong on that outside, but Logan has ended up on the inside in front of Joey Stackowicz, and all these guys. Looks like Chris Smith right behind him, or Chris French, and yeah, definitely a pretty big shakeup up here.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to do before we kind of had that 3 wide was go over everybody in the chat today. We got a lot of people over here in chat. We had Paul Thomas, obviously saying race night and loves the intro. We got Racer X with, yeah, thanks for typing that. Got Kit saying thank you for the stream and good luck drivers. We got Davis Morris saying let's go number 30. Same thing with Heather saying go Logan number 30. We got AGB. I'm assuming that's a driver in the field tonight. It says I'm sacred. I think he means scared. Only Class C driver in the field. So yeah, good luck. I got Paul Thomas saying go Chris Smith. Chad Fox, I'm assuming Hall of Fame there. He says they got nothing for Chris Smith. And yeah, he's definitely shown his dominance running that outside line. Chase Berry saying go me. Oh, wait, never mind. Ben Keast saying let's go Bird. Yeah, we got a lot of people in the chat, man. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah. And as you're saying that, I mean, we just about had 3 wide there, but that inside line is really making a charge. Logan Thruckelt on the inside with Evan Pienta in tow. Coming down the front stretch towards the start-finish line, completing lap number 12 of 40. We still got a long ways to go here, but these guys have been putting on an incredible race up front.
Yeah, and it's pretty wild to see, though, because some of these drivers in the top, in this lead pack, they're just slowly falling off and just getting swallowed up by the second pack, because you got a 3-car.
Oh no! Chris Smith Logan sideways. He's not going to save it. Oh, no. Well, we saw that happening. It took about the entire straightaway for it to fully develop, but yeah, it looks like Logan, maybe not too much damage on that thing. He might have been able to keep it off the inside wall. Let's go back and take a look at it. Gonna go back a little bit more and maybe get a better angle here. So, there you go. We'll try this one. So we see Logan. It starts in front of him, I think.
Yeah.
Because we saw Chris Smith, right? So
it does. Yeah, it starts with Ryan Rose. He makes contact with the wall right in front of Chris Smith, and Chris had to move down to avoid him.
yeah, we see just a little bit of contact there, and Logan is just along for the ride. A little bit of a push from the 16 of is that Gavin Smith? And yeah, through the grass. Man, that left rear is pretty beat up, but
yeah, but
I think he's going to survive.
It's definitely fortunate for Logan because, one, he can go get that damage fixed, but he did a great job keeping it down into the grass. I mean, it could have been a lot worse for him, especially if he came back up the track, similar to what Gavin did, because his front end got smashed in from that outside contact with the wall. So I think Logan's going to be okay. He'll probably spend a little bit of time getting that damage fixed, but I think all in all, he should be okay. Gavin Smith may be another story.
Yeah, and what Gavin did there is exactly what I would have done. You shoot right to the apron and hope that they turn back up the track and wreck the field. But Logan was still trying to save it, came down in front of him. I mean, that's kind of, man, you put yourself in that spot, and it's kind of a gamble. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, super speedways and wrecks, man. You got to hope for the best. I mean, they always say, some people claim they got all the skills in the world at these tracks, but let me tell you, luck, I think at Daytona, it just seems like it scales higher than skill sometimes, because you got to be really lucky just to avoid wrecks like this.
Absolutely. Let's see if we can go back far enough to get Ryan as he was getting the wall. Oh my. Who was man, I'm not sure who it was, but they almost got smashed there. We'll go back and see if we can find that one. It's that orange car right at the tail of the field is the one I'm trying to find here, and let's see if we can. I might not be able to get this. Let's see. It's the 29. Okay. Oh, wrong Phillips. Let's see. We're trying here, okay? This is man, I'll tell you what. There we go. We're going to rewind this one. Get a good shot with Scotty Phillips coming here out of the tri-oval. The wreck starts in front of him, and look how close that was. He tags the wall a little bit, but it could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse. So we're double filed up, Johnny. Getting ready to go back green. But there's 2 penalties on this, under this yellow. For one, they gave the incident to the 78 machine, Ryan Rose, for contact with the wall, causing that kind of pile up. But also Garrett Lane got a penalty for driving down all the stalls on pit road. So those two will be getting an EOL.
Yeah. Race control. Randy Bechtel is on top of it, and unfortunate for those guys, but hey, it happens, right? It's the name of the game. That's how we have to kind of try to police things around here.
I will say, Randy knows how to lay down the law.
Yes, he does. Well seasoned race controller here for Spark, and we really do appreciate him.
Well, also, speaking of Garrett Lane, the number 8 machine, Shamus Manning saying he's the biggest Garrett Lane fan. Well, Garrett's got a lot of work ahead of him as he's just going to be starting tail end on this restart here. But hey, still got a little bit of 24 laps to go, so plenty of time to get back up to the front. And I'm sure I don't want to jinx it, Johnny, but I don't think we're done seeing some wrecks.
Yeah, business is bound to pick up here as we get near the end of this race. Yeah, right now, lap 16. Still got a long ways to go, so hopefully they can be a little patient and get some laps in. But yeah, I mean, that was a really good run, but pace car is off. Joey Stakowicz with the lead. Evan Piento on the outside. Great start from Evan. It looks like he's going to beat him to the line, and yeah, that outside line is prevailing.
Yeah, you can definitely tell what happens when you don't get a push. But Danforth and Evan are known for working with each other, and I mean they just flew by the inside line on that restart. And they've just dipped right back down to the bottom. Chris French and looks, oh, excuse me, I don't know who the 77 is. That James Barker? It is. That number change. Wait, it is a number change, right? Or am I going crazy?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Whew.
Yeah.
I almost felt like an idiot for a second. They were tagged up there for a moment, but now he's going to duck in line there. But Chris French wanted to take that bottom line and see if he can shoot for the lead. And pulls right in front of Joey Stankiewicz. I'm going to massacre that name. I do apologize, Joey.
Yeah, it's all good, but hey, up front right now, Chris French is making that move, that inside line. Man, you see these cars just bouncing all over the place, side by side coming down the front stretch. Chris French, the 53 inside of the 55 of Evan Pienta. Evan Scott James, now we talked about teamwork earlier on in the show, and Evan and James, you know, they're teammates, and we're seeing it right now. They're working together to try to control this race.
Yeah, while that was all happening, just the smallest little bump that causes a checkup just dominoes to the extreme at this racetrack. I mean, Laura Wiseman just completely lost the draft just for checking up not to wreck somebody. And the stack up got so big, she just had to pull over. But look at the stack ups that are happening and the checkups. I mean, they're just spreading all over the place. Just try not to run into each other.
You'll go back. Logan involved in that wreck. Looks like he's got that car fixed and working his way back up through the field here. Oh, my. Yeah. Saw that late move to the inside. He's got himself up to 19th so far. It's about a third of the way through. And, hey, keep at it, you know. You got to keep making them bold moves. He's doing it well.
Yeah, one thing, too, I mean, Evan and Danforth were committed to that outside line, and they have just been shuffled back through the pack. Definitely looked like the bottom line was the way to go for those first few laps, but then now you see everybody start working their way up to the top.
You see Chris French, Rob Lidl, Scotty Phillips, Ryan Phillips. Oh, my. Yeah, the whole top row just blocked the inside there. About 6 cars came down the track.
Yeah, I mean, and then if you just look back here towards the back, the stack ups are huge from that. It's just these guys are doing a great job keeping it off one another. But let me tell you, whenever somebody checks up a line towards the front, these guys in the back are baying for it. You can just see a whole bunch of drivers starting to lose the draft here.
Yeah, we'll go back. Looks like the tail of this pack is Logan
Oh, wreck on the
Jacob
back straightaway.
Nickerson.
Core upside down in the air. Jake Monkey went for a wild ride. I don't know how it started. I just seen a car take flight.
Oh my.
Looks like
Yeah.
Dan Berg is involved. Who else we got? Paul Hahn is involved. The 81 of Sobzak looks like he has a lot of damage there.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that started up ahead of him. Is that I think that was the 64, and
yeah, it's you could just man that happens so fast.
yeah, we see Jake just flying through the air. The 64 got air too. Scotty Sobzak's involved.
Yeah, it's heartbreak for Jake Monkey. I mean, he was kind of running up there near the top 10 for most of the race here. Man, that was aggressive. But look at all four tires off the ground. So it looked like the 81 of Sobzak was the one that got hooked around. But it looks like it all started from one of these checkups that I'm telling you about. Like one person checks up the slightest bit, it just amplifies with each car that comes by.
Yeah, it looks like exactly what happened. Maybe we'll try to get an onboard from maybe the tail of Sobzak and see if we can't get down to the bottom of this one, right? You know?
Yeah, that was, I mean, spectacular crash. You know, for everybody watching, that was a spectacular crash. We all agree with that.
A little bit further back, yeah, we can hear him lift. Contacts made in front, and then yeah, man, sure there's a lot of damage, but that was a decent save by Scotty there. That doesn't look too bad, but
Yeah, it definitely looked like Scotty Phillips' connection kind of blinked out there, and Ryan lifted off a little, so I guess just didn't end up inside of his car, and everyone else was just bumping back into each other from all the way back. And yeah, that's pretty much how it started there.
yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, looks like it's probably gonna be a lot of people down pit road here, or they probably already have made their pit stops, but uh fuel shouldn't be an issue here tonight. So these are people fixing their damage and maybe taking some fresh tires, but
I will say, as of only right now, Johnny, we'll kind of see once this plays through a few more laps. But the only car out of the race right now is Jake Mockey in the 13 machine. Everyone else is rolling.
yeah, that car is definitely mangled. I don't know if he had already had damage because I think we do get a fast repair. But yeah, maybe he'd already taken it. But yeah, definitely unfortunate to see that car wrecked in pit road. He's had some good luck here. He's been good at these plate races the last few months, and yeah, hate to see it.
Oh yes. See, I missed the fast repair. So he's currently taking a tow is what he is doing. He was unable to drive it. But looks like he disconnected, so he's definitely calling it a night. But we have double filed back up. Chris French, currently our leader, with Rob Liedl up here in second. Good to see Rob Liedl up here in second as well. Excuse me there. Scotty Phillips, 29th. He's right now in third. And Ryan Phillips. Man, Evan Pienta. Lord, what am I doing? Evan Pienta in fourth. and then James Danforth in 5th. So he's not going to be able to line up with Evan like he did on that last restart. But I can assure you, I do expect Danforth and Evan to probably line back up like they did in this previous restart, and we've kind of seen so far. So everyone's going to find their dancing partners for the end.
Absolutely. Yep. Now it's time to do it. Just over halfway through. You got to get everything lined up. Put yourself in the best position to win this race.
Well, what we like to see is we're coming to about 16 to go. Pretty much all the cars, like we mentioned, except for one on the track right now. So a lot more action still going to come in these final laps here. And Johnny, I couldn't even tell you who's going to win this race right now.
Yeah, it's definitely too early to tell. And we've seen a lot of quality drivers up here. Man, I'll tell you what, Chris French and Rob Liedl, they weren't leading on that last restart, but they're in the perfect position now as the pace car comes off, coming to 25 laps on the board. Chris French with a really solid start. He has Scotty Phillips in tow and James Danforth just behind him on the inside line.
A couple of these drivers that were in early incidents are starting to make their way back up through the field. That would be the 30 of Logan and 78 of Ryan Rose. They're up to 15th right now. Keep in mind they restarted back in about 26th, 27th, so they're definitely making their charge back to the front. But right now this top line seems to be moving right now. That was a lot different than what we saw in the last restart. These guys up top are able to form, and personally I think they're able to do that more because they're not having to turn as much. They don't have to lift as much. In the bottom, it's such a sharper corner. They check up a lot more on the bottom than they do the top. So if you see this top get organized, I think that would be the fastest lane around here. Oh, we got another big accident. This one's collecting at least 10 cars.
Oh, no.
Huge pileup.
I saw James Danforth
Catch flight?
look. Yeah, he was just flying through the air, no big deal. Go back and see if we can see what happened. We kind of saw it from the rear camera on Lidl there, but
yeah, that was definitely a huge crash. I mean, I'm just looking here at 4, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, roughly 13. Yeah, I mean, easily 13 to 15 cars involved in that.
yeah, I kind of want to see this from Cam Gillen's perspective. He had a really good view of the wreck. I'm not sure if he got involved, but we should be able to see just about everything happening up in front of him here. So they're going down into turn 1. And man, it's a parking lot. He does get a little bit of damage there trying to lock him up, and that's going to force a lot of these drivers to take their fast repair if they haven't already. And yeah.
Well, I would definitely like to say the luckiest person right now from that accident was Logan in that 30 machine. He was like 15th going into turn 1, and Danforth, when he came back up the track, was inches from hitting him, and now he's in, what, 10th? So
Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Logan, after recovering from that early wreck, and yeah, we're going to see it right here. Oh my. Yeah. About landed on his windshield. He just barely escaped there.
yeah, and then Nickerson, who was right behind him, just nowhere to go. I mean, they just swarm the track. Complete track blockage. But yeah, that all started with Danforth, right? I mean, unsure if the car kind of unsettled with the bumps or if he thought maybe he was just clear to move to the outside line. Unknown, we'll probably find out after the race what happened. But yeah, that tore up a lot of good cars. And hopefully a lot of these drivers do have their fast repairs, which I think most of them do. Most of our accidents so far have only been, 2 or 3 cars. So this was our first big one of the evening.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it was only a matter of time the way these guys were driving. Man, it's just a shame. A lot of them guys getting tore up. They had good track position. They're going to have to work their way back up through the field now.
I wouldn't necessarily say how they were driving. It's how the track is driving. This track, I know people watching and those who have done it. I mean, we know that this older Daytona and this older asphalt is very difficult. You would think that it's easy, just hold it to the floor and barely make a left turn here. No, it is when you're in that huge pack. And let me tell you, it is nerve-wracking. The car's bouncing all over the place. It's moving back and forth, and all the cars around you are doing the exact same thing, and you're trying to stay off of them. I mean, that's a lot to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely the driver's plate track, right? So it's more in their hands than it is in Talladega or the new Daytona. But yeah, we also I don't remember if you got Paul. Paul said it's getting dicey out there. He called that. Right after he said that, we started seeing all these incidents, and we have Big Fast Racing Team. I believe that is Jake Mackey saying that the car will not let him take his fast repair. So that's going to be an unfortunate end to his night. That's why we saw him sitting in the pits. And yeah, man, hey, sorry to hear that. Regroup, man. Go get him next week at Five Flags.
Yeah, like I said, this is just the, this race is just the one that don't count, right? I mean, this one's a racing for fun. I mean, granted, everyone's racing for their entry back, but their season doesn't start until next week. So, yeah, can't take too hard about a Daytona race,
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, here we go. We're lining them up again. We got still Lidl. We got Ryan Phillips in second now on the outside. Evan Pienta's still up there in the mix. Chris French, Max Cost, and then Scotty Phillips, the other Phillips brother.
Well, Johnny, we're going to be taking the green here with 11 laps to go. But I'm not a betting man, but who are you feeling right now? Who do you think has it to move up to the front right now?
Man, I'll tell you, it's going to be down to that teamwork, and I could see Scotty and Ryan getting together, and Chris and Rob Lidl. Those guys are all going to work together if given the opportunity, and it's going to be hard to beat. I mean, Evan lost his drafting partner, so.
Yeah, and then those who don't have teammates anymore in this fight, they're going to have to find some strangers to work with. But the pace truck's dipping off. And right now, Rob Lidl has command, and he's going to take off. This start was a lot closer than our previous ones. And Ryan Phillips and Chris French on that outside right now are kind of have a little separation, but the three on the bottom are well put together here. And let's see how they do one off in their 1 and 2.
Yeah, still side by side, coming out of 2 here. Lidl has the nose ahead, getting a really big push from Evan. And Evan might not even have a choice. He may be being pushed from Max Cost behind him. Through 3 and 4, looks like Lidl was getting that inside line. It's working well. Evan Pienta pulls out of line, making the move. See if that's able to get him the lead here.
Yeah, I definitely seen Evan. He's been running that top line pretty much all night, so it's no surprise to see him move up. And probably if he clears for the lead with Ryan here, he'll probably slide down in front of him. But that top line, and you've raced with me long enough, Johnny. You know how much I like running that middle top line. We got a big stack up in the back. They're able to keep it going. Ryan Rose there had to check up hard to avoid contact there. it only domino effect back from there. So that bottom line's definitely checking up big.
Yeah, it looks like maybe they're giving a little bit more room right now than they were just before that last caution, but you got to survive till the end, you know, and we're getting down to it here, side by side for the lead. Still, Rob Lidl looks like he's going to lead this lap. Evan Pienta second.
Yeah, I think the day of giving room right now is pretty much going to be over as we're coming to 8 laps to go. So these drivers are going to be pushing, shoving, and just sticking their nose to just gain that momentum to try to make these passes, especially these cars that are about mid-pack right now, because they're not going to be riding unless they just content with finishing in 20th.
Yeah, we're going to say it right here. This is Rob Lidl now. He's going to be pushing Ryan Phelps. Just see how bumpy these cars are when you're really trying to get after it. You know, you see the car in front of you bouncing, but you're bouncing at a different rate. And so far, it looks like he's able to make that work.
So one of the things I seen that really looked good coming off of the corners was Chris Finch. He was able to just dip his nose right underneath Evan and just made that contact with him coming off the corner, and it just slingshot him down the straightaway. So Chris Finch looking good at drafting with Evan, but as I say that, he just dips underneath him and leaves him, which is good. He's going to try and make this pass for the lead here with Ryan Phillips behind him now. Scotty Phillips is still on the outside, so now Evan just has to bank on him, pushing him here. But one of these, do you think these Phillips kind of may team up here towards the end?
Well, I know if it was my brother out there, I'd be pushing him as soon as I can, you know. But yeah, right now they're kind of at odds. They're in opposite lanes, you know. We have to see if they're able to merge together, and if they can, I guarantee you they will be locked up till the finish.
Yeah, that bottom lane just had a huge shakeup.
Brian Brobst. There's a huge wreck back there. Oh, caution is out. It's like Logan was involved once again, and he didn't make out as good as he did the last time. That car is destroyed.
Yeah, he hit that tire barrier really hard. Definitely looks like Ryan Brobst and, excuse me, is that Cam Gillens in the 07? I think it is. Yeah, that kind of all the action kind of started with those two. And then, you know, the unlucky bystander there of Logan, who was making a hard charge back to the front, gets caught up in that.
Yeah, we'll see it right here. Cam Gillens in the 07, that black car on the high side. A little bit of a side draft action. Yeah, Brian Brobst gets kind of pinballed back and forth, and yep, there you go. Well, I think
Johnny, I believe we're going to have a... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it is down to the end of this thing. So I think, you know, about what you were saying. Green, white, checkered. Okay, I thought Evan was pitting there. I was going to say, well, what is he doing?
Come on, you can't let them psych you out like that.
Yeah. Hey, you don't know. Maybe he had some damage, some brain damage or something. But
yeah, I don't think we're going to have a overtime green, white, checker. We may just have a natural kind of green, white, checkered, but we'll see. Depends on... I think we will. We should. So we'll see. Kind of just guys to note here up in the front that we haven't really talked much about. Garrett Lane has made his way. Remember, he had that penalty, that pit lane penalty, and he's all the way up to 5th place right now. Looking good to have a shot at this. Again, Rob Lidl was leading a few laps. Scotty Zobzak, after taking that head-on collision to the wall, taking his fast repair, he's up to 7th right now. Chris Smith, another one, was caught up in that one wreck. I mean, I say one wreck. We've had quite a few wrecks now. He's up to 9th. And who else do we have here?
Yeah, I mean, when we saw Danforth about get flown through the air there, he was able to fix that car, and he's back just outside of the top 10 behind Joey Stankiewicz. And yeah, I mean, but really, it's Daytona. Anybody in the top 10, 15, even past that, really still has a chance. And we can look back here, like James Parker, you know, he's 16th. Hey, that's prime real estate at Daytona. You get grouped up with somebody, you go up to the wall, and you could pass 10 cars in one lap.
Yeah, we've definitely have seen it. I don't know necessarily about the old Daytona here, but this is definitely going to shake things up, especially if you don't have 3 laps. And, you know, I'm going to take the negative side of it. I think right now, you know, if you're in the top 5, top 6 right now, you guys are the ones sitting in the catbird seat right now for this short kind of run we're about to have. Because keep in mind, right, it takes an entire lap to get up to speed. So you're only going to be down to 1 more lap to make a move. So the guys in the back are really going to have to bank on the guys in the front making a mistake, which, don't get me wrong, is very possible. But right now, I think one of our top 6 drivers is going to be the one bringing home this win tonight.
Yeah. Hey, it's very possible. Let's, I mean, we're going to see, man, I'm trying to look at like the the team aspect of it. I think there's 4 big fast drivers in the top 5. That can really play in that it's near the end here. Evan might be out there, you know, fending off the wolves, but
yeah. Well, Evan's probably going to be pulling off some big blocks trying to if he wants to try to maintain his position right now, because I can assure you, when the teammates, they'll definitely leave you out to dry and race it out amongst themselves here on the last lap.
yeah, I mean, teammates only work until the last lap. Then it's go time, right? You know?
I'd say the last lap too, but more or less the last corner, and then it's all over with after that.
Yeah, we see it right now. Lights are off on that pace car. We're heading down into turn 3, getting ready for this maybe final restart. I don't think it is an official green-white checker, as he said.
So it's definitely not a green-white checkered. So, you know, if we do have another yellow here on these first, 2 laps, we get an extra 2 laps here. So if we get a yellow within these first 2 laps, we'll definitely have a green-white checkered. But we'll definitely see. But I don't know, man. We've seen the aggression out of these guys just with 10 laps to go. I can't imagine with 3 laps to go. But the pace truck is dipping off. Evan Pienta in control right now with, who's he got? Scotty Phillips right behind him to push. They take the green, but Chris French beats him to the line. Maybe a penalty, I don't know. But we'll see what race control thinks. But right now, Chris French and Ryan Phillips are just locked bumpers right here on the outside.
Yep, still side by side up front. 3 laps to go. We're seeing that, man, looks like they might be a little better formed up on the top, but yeah, we see it. Chris French cuts down to block Evan Pienta. He's going to take that inside line, and that allows Ryan Phillips to potentially get a run up here.
Yeah, you can definitely see these teammates kind of trying to see what they can do, work and try to help each other out as we're coming to 2 laps to go. As we got a big stack up on the top line here, but they keep it together. But you just see this top line just kind of dissolving right now.
Yeah, it all comes down to this.
Oh
No!
Huge crash going into turn 2 here. Oh, that was a massive, massive crash. I mean, that took out almost everyone again.
Oh, man. Very unfortunate. We see Lidl, he led a ton of laps tonight. That car is smoking. Motor is expired. Uh, and we're going to have to go back and see what happened here. I mean, we kind of saw it there. Got spun out of the lead. Maybe just a bad bump, but
Oh man, yeah. I, I wouldn't even say that's a bad bump. I think Evan just drove through him.
yeah, he's trying to hit him in the corner. You see, he's just all over him. And yeah, man, not the best place to do that. Lifted those rear tires, got him a little loose, and then huge impact to the outside wall. And with the 64 of Stankiewicz, and
Yeah, that was a massive crash. And the worst part, right? Garrett Lane, who was having a great run, just running up here in the top 6, and Rob Lidl on the outside, just nowhere to go. And these guys just get cleaned out from that incident. Well, that definitely shakes everything up for this green-white checkered we're about to have.
yep. Oh, man. You see Danforth involved again. Max Cost. A lot of
Yeah, it's
good
gonna put
cars torn up in this one.
Yeah, I would definitely say a lot of cars were torn up in that one, and a lot of them, their fast repairs are gone. So we're going to have a pretty short field for this restart here. But keep in mind here at Spark, we do only have one green-white checkered. So if we have a wreck when we hit on the green flag lap, right, that'll end the race as well. And obviously, they don't throw yellows on the white flag lap. So white flag lap is basically a free-for-all.
Yeah, we see some good wreck avoidance here from Brian Brobst. Got her slowed down, got through the wreck there. That's good deal. Yeah, man, you hope that man, they can make it around one lap. All you gotta do is make it one lap, and we can get ourselves a good finish to the line. Yeah, we'll have to see what they can do here, though.
Yeah, but I will say though, look at your two leaders right now. Both the Phillips, right? Scotty and Ryan right now, 1 and 2, and then you got Scotty Zobzak back there in third, and then our favorite Chris Smith running in P4.
Yeah, we saw Chris. Man, he was involved in some stuff earlier, but he's able to kind of work through the field and avoid that wreck good enough to put himself back in the top 5. We got Gavin Smith, another Spark newcomer, with the Wawa car. Look at that. I don't know. You guys got Wawas down there in Florida, right?
Yeah, we got a couple. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a few of them. Bad part is I've never been to one.
Nah.
Nah,
Hey,
I mean, I
mean,
just never gone to one.
it's nothing to write home about. It's just a convenience store, but
Yeah. Now Bucky's is where it's at.
yeah, I've never been to one of those, but I've heard
See?
that they're great. But, yeah, Benson
Vincent
Weaver up here
Weaver
in
up.
6th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good run through the field here, being patient. We haven't seen him up in the front yet, but man, that car looks clean, and yeah, got to be there at the end. So here we go.
Yeah, and the car looks clean. I think he was involved in one of the 2 big wrecks that we've had. So he's definitely on his fast repair, but the car looks clean. He's kept it clean since then. Dan Berg right there behind him in 7th has definitely got some nose-in damage. So definitely got cars up here with some damage. We'll see how they do in the draft. As they get all shuffled in here for this final restart.
Yep. So, man, I'll tell you what. Up front, we got the brothers. We got Scotty Phillips and Ryan Phillips, 1 and 2. Got to imagine they're going to work together on this restart, maybe try to time it out and get in line. We'll see how it works. But, yeah, then they got the Hungry Dogs behind them. They're also teammates, Chris Smith and Scotty Sobzak. So, yeah, it's coming right down to the wire here. We're going to see who can pack up together and you know, try to make it work for this last restart.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have enough time to pick and choose who they want to deal with. I'm pretty much guarantee that Scotty's going to stick with Ryan, or excuse me, Scotty's going to stick with Scotty, and then Chris is going to stick with Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Hey, if they make it past the first lap, you might see him maybe try to drop out and make something happen. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, right now, they definitely have control of this race. So let's see what they can do with it. With 2 to go, our final restart of the night. Pace truck will be dipping off here. And Johnny, I'll let you take it away.
Absolutely. Pace truck is off. Scotty Phillips, Ryan Phillips coming to the line. Final green white checker tonight. Scotty Phillips with a great start. Good bump from Scotty Sobczak. And man, he's got a 1-2 car length lead out in front. But no help as we see Ryan Phillips and Chris Smith are locked up. That outside line is going to prevail for now. We'll see if they're able to keep it together here, stay locked up. Definitely tight up front here. Nose to tail, side by side. Coming to the line, 1 lap to go. Man, it's too close to call right now.
Yeah, right now, I think Chris Smith is just going to be glued to Ryan's bumper, just hoping he can get him clear and maybe have a shot at this. But right now, the 2 Scotties on the bottom are teamed up to the end of this thing. So right now, it's the Phillips show. Let's see which one's going to cross the line first tonight.
Oh, we did have a car spin. Let's see if they get to the line in time. It looks like they do. Green flag is still out. We will have a race to the finish here tonight. 1 to go, presented by Whiplash Sim Cams.
Oh, we got a wreck over in turn 1. But let's keep the action going up on front. We can come back to that. They're 3 wide back behind the leaders, but still right now, the bottom line's kind of folded away. What is Ryan Phillips going to do? Is he going to go down there? No, Chris Smith's going to give him no option. Chris Smith's going to go to the outside to try to make this pass on Ryan Phillips, but he doesn't have any help right now. He's banking on Benson Weaver to try to get up to him.
Brothers on the bottom, and Chris Smith and Benson Weaver up top. Man, Benson's giving him the bumper. He's trying to push him. It looks like, man, coming to the line. Oh!
Chris Smith's still going to be able to win it. But surprised to see that 98 machine up there as well. It looks like, man, they all crossed the line just so close. Looks like Chris Smith, Benson Weaver, and Dan Berg, your top 3.
Yeah, let's see if we can maybe get a better shot here of this finish. We're going to go, I think we have a... Oh, man. Set? No? Just bear with me. These things I'm not too familiar with, but we'll go... maybe here. We'll see if this one gives us a good angle. It doesn't. All right, we'll just go back to one of the other ones. I've been trying to mess with these on the fly as we're going through, but yeah, coming to the line. Man, we see it. Benson spinning down to the inside, and man, I'll tell you what, just about 4 wide before we got to the line there. We're going to back it up just a little bit. Once again, get a full replay of that from that angle.
Yeah, we got a lot of drivers up there towards the back there. I mean, Ryan Rose, obviously got just put in the wall there, but man, what a spectacular finish. All 3, well, technically the top 4 were all within a 1/10 of a second.
Yeah. It was a wild finish. And hey, I'll tell you, Chris Smith was able to hold off the brothers. There was definitely, it took a couple wrecks on that last lap to make it happen. But, man, definitely, man, unfortunate if you're a Phillips. Man, they had it lined up. They could have made that work. But just, it's like maybe a bad bump, really trying to get down to the end here, sends sends Scotty. Yeah, he kind of cuts across Sobzak, but Sobzak was being pushed too, and yeah, still a great finish to the line. Green flag finish, hey, we're all about it. So,
Well, that's the last lap for Daytona for you. I mean, right?
yeah.
Nobody's left, and we seen it.
I'll tell you what, before we get into our winner interviews, we're going to step away for a quick advertisement. We'll be right back with our top 3 finishers.
Hey partner, I'm Barry, your pocket crew chief, the very first AI-powered mechanic for sim racing. Got a car that's a little loose or tight? Just tell me how it's handling, and I'll whip up instant setup recommendations just for you. Want me to get even more precise? Snap a picture of your setup, and I'll fine-tune it to perfection. And hey, I'm not just about giving orders. I'll explain why every adjustment matters, so you can really understand your ride. I'll even teach you the science behind the setup. Ever wondered why the track bar is so important? I've got the answer. With Pocket Crew Chief, I'll make you smarter, faster, and race ready. So what are we waiting for? Let's build to win.
Okay, yeah, we are back, and yeah, it looks like Dan Berg is with us in the Discord here. Justin, if you want to pull him in.
Yeah, Dan Berg, you got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, man. It's the first time speaking with you up here in the broadcast booth, man. How's it feel?
That's definitely a feeling that I've been wanting to for a while.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, man. You definitely. I know you were caught up in that, couple of crashes there tonight. Had the damage on the car we seen before that late route. Excuse me, that last restart. But tell me, what did you do to get that 98 machine into third place on that final restart?
Yeah, well, it was kind of bumming at first when the two packs kind of split up. I was kind of hoping we were gonna have a green flag cycle, but that didn't really pan out. Got caught in a few things, but just tried to for the rest of the race. I just kind of just tried to stick on the bottom line so I could avoid as much as I could. Then right at the end there, towards that, I think I started in 7th. Be completely honest, I think I blacked out because I can't even recall what happened. But we're here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I generally do the same thing with about 5 laps ago. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, things get chaotic and you just end up where you end up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, man, one of the questions I was curious on, and we've seen it all night. How much of a pain were these things to handle? We've seen cars jumping all over the place, bouncing all over the place. Man, tell me what it was like behind the wheel.
It was definitely a handful. It was pushing you all over the place. I definitely stuck to the bottom. I went to the top a couple times, and with how much the lines are just swaying there and getting up against the wall, it was definitely a handful. I'd prefer to stick towards the bottom line. I felt like you could kind of keep control a little bit more there.
Well, with this momentum that you kind of have right now with this third place finish, how you feeling about moving on to 5 flags, man, and get this series kicked off?
That one's definitely gonna be exciting. I'm excited for that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Try to keep the momentum rolling.
Well, we're gonna try and talk to you next week, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, before we let you go, man, who would you like to thank?
I'll shout out to teammate Joey and my other buddy Jordan Ives. He couldn't make the race, but other than that, that's about it.
All right, man. We'll go off, celebrate with the team, man. Congrats on the third place, and we'll see you next week.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And you, sir.
Yeah. So, hey, Benson Weaver, man, busy week for you. And, man, you got up there near the top 5 at last restart, able to come home P2. How you feeling?
I mean, I don't know. I was trying to do everything I could to win the race myself. Got close, but yeah, I got the big fast people not all that happy because I pushed a car and that wasn't a big fast car and got got Chris Smith the one. I was just trying to get it myself, but yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, it almost worked. You guys were just about 3, maybe 4 wide right before the checkered flag there. And yeah, just
Yeah.
one car spinning a certain way different, you might have came home with the win there. Definitely an incredible showing right at the end, man.
Yeah, it's really all started with that last caution. I just like I saw that 53 going down to the inside and hooking up to the top of the track. So I just cranked my wheel to the left, hoping I'd make it through. I don't know if I lifted even, and somehow it worked. So I got through there just fine. It was fantastic. I still need to look back at that. That was a great great save.
Yeah, I mean, so take us back yet, even further than that. There was a couple, we saw some good green flag racing, but there was a couple huge accidents, man. What was your perspective getting through them outside of the last one?
Yeah, I mean, I only was really involved in one. They were wrecking right in front of me. I was checking up, but the car behind me didn't check up enough, and my car got killed there. Used my fast repair after that, but I was just able to hit the brake soon enough, and luckily wasn't hit enough, too much. So, I mean, it was pretty standard plate racing. Just you see a wreck, get to the brakes, turn away. Eh, just just stay calm, I guess.
Yeah, it's a battle of survival for sure. And hey, man, we got to talk about this before we let you go. But you had your debut in the Crown Vic, the what is it's like the Budweiser
Budweiser
Thunderdog series.
Underdogs. Yep.
Yeah, man. Hey,
Yeah.
give us a little bit of that, man. How was your first real life race?
Well, it was going real good till it wasn't. I been building this Crown Vic over past long while. I haven't touched iRacing since the last Spark race. Really, the computer in general haven't been on since then. Just working on this car, got it done just in time for this first race, and got out there and did some practice. And I was getting the feel for the car, figuring stuff out. Um, got to the qualifying, which was actually a practice round, but it counted for the qualifying, and had an issue called not enough gas. So I didn't qualify well, which there's points for qualifying, so kind of missed out on that. But somehow the invert put me starting pole for both the heat and main event. So, it's cool. Got to start my first races right at the front, and the heat race I led all the laps until right at the very end, where I got passed by this Ford Fusion. There's not much I can do against him right now. Gotta work on the car to make that faster because his car is just faster. Yeah, I gotta figure out something to beat him. But yeah, so he ended up getting me right towards the end. Now, due to some silly rules, that guy actually got second. I got fourth, even though even though he's the only person who passed me. Yeah, that's confusing. It'll take a while to explain that, but
Yeah, we were watching it and still have no idea what happened.
Yeah, you can never go a lap down. That's what happens.
Yeah.
So if the leader passes you, you're now in second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hey, that makes sense. But yeah,
Yeah,
we saw it,
so
man. You got to take us through your first time because you led a lot of that race and you got sent to the back because of the rules. And take us through what it
yeah,
felt like the first time getting dumped in a race
yeah.
car.
Yeah, so I'm just sitting there. They're playing this game. One of these silly rules is you can't lead more than one lap at a time. So I got these two cars, like figuring that out in front of me, and I'm trying to figure out how I can get past both of them. I want to lead a couple of these laps, and another Crown Vic absolutely blows the corner, smacks my quarter panel, and yeah, I think immediately broke my seat mount. I tried to hit the brakes. I don't think I was doing anything. I had both feet trying to stamp that thing down, and yeah, it just, I couldn't do. I wasn't in control of the car, and so yeah, car slides back. The guy ended up smacking me in the door, crushed my door, broken seat mount, cracked the bumper. Um, yeah, car rolled back down the track. I didn't have any control. There was still oncoming traffic. That was kind of scary, and so they ended up having to get the push truck out there to get me off. But and I was looking back at the replay. I swear that hit was so much harder than it looked like. It felt huge. Like
Really?
I was like, no way this car is drivable. And part of it was probably my seat had been knocked out back. My harnesses, which were tight to the seat, now weren't tight, so I was really just freely in there. And so when I got hit, I was jostled around quite a bit. And so yeah, that kind of made it crappy.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate, but hey, man, you still got a lot of good experience. Got to lead some laps, and man, right here tonight, you came home second, almost got yourself a win. Yeah, before we let
Almost.
you go, the floor is yours. Any sponsors, shout outs, teammates, family, friends watching, have at it.
Oh, shout out to the Big Fast team. I know they're kind of unhappy with me. But I go through these Spark sponsors, Shark Monkey Golf, our premier, our new partners here with the ARCA series. Cool to have them around, and I think that's all kind of the same with Phillips Wraps and Graphics. I think that's all same person if I'm not mistaken. Um, number one hero cards, that's me. Yeah, you can read about that if you want. I'm not gonna talk about it. I, Team Goon Squad, they got that merch site running. That's cool. I've PM to designs. I've got a couple paint schemes. I think I've got uh, got from giveaways, and I haven't reached out to him. So I guess I got to get that taken care of.
Yeah,
Uh,
got to cash in your Evan Pieta Designs paints. Yeah.
I think I won 2 of them. I think I'm undefeated in every time I've had a chance. Robert Ropes Designs. I was hanging with Robert through the race. We like to mess around with each other, joke with each other. It's a good time. JD photos. You know, uh, somebody's got to take the screenshots, and it kind of sucks to do. So it's cool that somebody's doing it. So thanks for that. And High Ground, another new partner. I guess they make what, keyboards? That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, definitely some cool, gaming peripherals and stuff, right? And yeah, hey, they're going to have a giveaway later this season. That's pretty exciting. See some more details about that later on. But
Yeah, see if I can keep up my luck in these random spinners.
yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, the luck worked out pretty good tonight. You put yourself in the perfect spot to come home with a podium finish. Once again, congratulations. Go celebrate with the team, man. I think man, you got to tell them, like, hey, where did you finish? Right?
Yeah.
All right. That
All
is
right, I'll see you.
that's second place tonight, Benson Weaver, and the number 1 hero cards, Chevrolet.
Johnny, one of my first ever real life races, I was driving for somebody, and just like him, pill draw pole, and about a lap later, a car barrel rolled over my hood. So yeah, it was good stuff. Good times.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Well, the man of the hour right now, Chris Smith. You got a copy?
I got you.
Chris, I'm telling you, secretly, I was rooting for you this entire time. Just want you to know that.
I appreciate that. Hey, I thought you were supposed to be impartial.
Oh, sorry. I said
Yeah,
secretly
you're a
for
journalist now,
one.
right?
I said secretly, okay? But I guess it's out now. Regardless, you put yourself in the perfect position there at the end to make the move. But honestly, I kind of want to take a step back. I mean, yes, you were involved in one wreck, but in reality, you were involved in multiple wrecks and in close calls throughout the night. But tell me how your race went prior to this race win.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Started up front there and kind of got up to the top lane. I think we had Rob behind us right there, and um, you know, they kind of all. I went to the top to try to make up a little bit of ground, and we got back up to the lead and kind of riding up there, and they all kind of lined up with me, and we kind of had a little bit of train going right there on the top where it was kind of dominant, and it was pretty fun at that point. And then we lost the sort of track position, and then it wasn't as much fun. We were back in the chaos, and spending more time off the throttle than on the throttle. But yeah, we had some close calls. Had the deal I think with the 78 right there. That was almost disastrous for us, and then got caught up into one crash and had to do some had to take our fast repair then, but it all worked out, and just had to stay patient, man. It's very interesting the way the aero works. This is my first time ever being on a speedway in one of these ARCA cars, so kind of almost like a Gen 6 next gen sort of hybrid in a way. It's just kind of different, but it was fun.
Yeah, well, were these things as much of a pain to handle as we were seeing out there? Because we've seen a lot of cars bouncing around, jumping all over the place, just cranking back and forth. I mean, how'd that 28 machine drive tonight?
I thought it drove fine. I thought it handled all right. It was really just, kind of, you kind of had to think ahead about like the moves that you made. You couldn't, if you would jump out without much help, you'd kind of drop back super, super fast. And, the pushing could be real sketch at certain points. Of course, bumpy Daytona, it's going to be sketch anyway. So that kind of made the handling, worse if somebody was definitely pushing you, as you go through those bumps. But yeah, it was fun. Gotta thank Benson there for the push there coming to the end. I know he was trying real hard to win it there off of turn 4, but yeah, he definitely got us in position right there coming to the line.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris, I don't want to hold you up much longer tonight, but tell me who you got to thank for this race win tonight.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to all the league sponsors. I want to give a shout out to you guys in the booth, all the league admins for putting this race on, Randy for doing the race control, Slingshot TV, Pocket Crew Chief, Apex Energy, all the sponsors on the car here tonight. All like I said, all the league sponsors, and everybody for watching at home. Shout out to my mom and dad if they're still watching.
Hi, Chris's mom and dad.
Yeah, I think last week we said we had to get an interview. we never worked that out, but
we did say that.
Hey, maybe we'll make that happen at some point. Who knows?
Yeah.
As long as they're still awake, they might be asleep by now.
No, it is getting kind of late, I guess. Well, regardless, we'll make it happen. But congratulations on the win. And looking forward to see what you're going to do this season. You go on to celebrate with the team and the family, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one. Take it easy.
Well, Johnny, that was your race winner, Chris Smith, man. I'm telling you, was looking good all night.
That he was, I'll tell you. Came back from that early incident and put himself back up in the top 5 there, battling, on that last restart. Definitely played it perfectly. Good little push from Benson, and man, able to hold on to it coming across the line. Incredible race from Chris Smith. So that brings us up to our race results tonight. We just heard from them. Chris Smith, Benson Weaver, Dan Berg. First, second, and third. Man, great race to the line. It was a lot of fun to watch. Ryan Phillips still able to hold on to 4th, even though he was wrecking through the infield. Man, it's gutting, They had a good little lineup on the inside there. It just didn't work out. And yeah, Ryan Rose kind of snuck in the 5th there. We didn't talk too much about him tonight, but yeah, good run from Ryan. He won the prelim race in the super late models just beforehand, and hey, a win in the top 5 ain't too bad.
Yeah, 6th place, Chris French, right, who was hooked by Evan. there towards the end of this race and was able to make a great recovery and bring it home 6th. Max Coast in 7th. Cam Gillens, the 07 machine, in 8th. Jacob Nickerson, we didn't talk too much about him. I know he was caught up in that early wreck. Ended up 9th. And James Barker in the new number. I clarified. 77 machine in 10th.
Yeah, Steve Vest, solid 11th place finish, one spot outside of the top 10. Evan Pieta, man, we saw him up there leading laps, mixing it up early, able to come home 12th. Joey Stankiewicz, newcomer here, you know, but yeah, I think he was maybe teammates with Dan Berg there, and yeah, obviously involved in one of those wrecks pretty bad, and to still come home 13th is an accomplishment. Brian Brobst, another good recovery, right? You know, he was involved in a couple of incidents. 14th is not bad, pretty solid finish, and another newcomer, Paul Hahn, coming home 15th.
Yeah, Rob Liedel rounds out 16th. Gavin Smith, who was actually running in, 6th place there on the last lap, ends up 17th. He got kind of wrecked on the back straightaway. Scotty Zobzak also collected in a last lap crash, finished 18th. Scotty Phillips ended up finishing a lap down. He was the one in that lead pack there. Oh, he got a penalty for a pit road penalty there. That put him a lap down. Ryan Hinkle in the 21 machine finished 20th. Garrett Lane also had a strong run tonight, but got kind of caught up in some misfortune. Finished 21st. James Stanford 22nd. Robert Brobst 23rd. Now all these drivers from here on out were pretty much out of the race due to crashes and damage. Be Logan, Dave Grujewski, Laura Wiseman, and Jake Maki in the rounds out 27.
Yeah, an unfortunate end to their nights. Man, we saw Laura up there racing for the lead. Jake had a pretty good run going, and Logan was up there for a while. Dave was up there in the top 5 early on, and yeah, just too much damage, you know. And we saw, you know, some fast repair glitches to kind of threw some people off too. So yeah, unfortunate, but hey, it's only a preseason race. Gather it up, come back next week.
Well, a preseason race that gave us some spectacular crashes, some spectacular racing as well. But if you watched our Monday Night Late Model Series last season, right, the action is going to be probably amplified even more, you know, once we start at 5 Flags next week. Pretty much where we ended the Late Model Series, we're beginning the ARCA Series.
Yeah, it's the the next step or whatever, right? You know, and man, I'll tell you what, we got big fields though, so it can be chaotic. And yeah, I mean, you brought it up. Let's get back to our schedule for this season starting next week. You said 5 Flags. There it is, 125 laps. Rockingham, we got a little bit of everything. We got some short tracks, we got some big tracks, we got a road course, we got a dirt track, and we got a 1.5 miles at Kansas to end off the season. And I'll tell you, man, we got 2 schedules, right? Because Wednesday night, we are starting our truck season right here on Slingshot TV. It won't be me and Justin calling that race. It'll be Logan and Sky and is it Cody or man? Forgive me for forgetting your first name there, but yeah, we got a whole new crew. Should be very exciting. Those guys are going to be great at it. We'll pull that up real quick too. That's going to be starting at Daytona this week, and then yeah, kind of another pretty good mix of tracks. You know, you got Rockingham, Pocono, a couple 1.5 miles, short track, Portland, new track to iRacing. That'll be fun. And man, Auto Club in Dover, 2 of my favorite tracks. That's going to be a lot of fun. Rounding everything off at Homestead, staple of the NASCAR series, you know. So
Auto Club doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's a shame.
For a reason.
Thank you, Alex Bowman, right? But yeah, so man, with that said, you got any closing remarks before we head off?
Oh man, I'm just looking forward to kicking this season off as everyone who is still watching is probably just as excited to root on their favorite drivers.
Absolutely. And hey, you brought it up there. We want to thank everybody for watching, everybody that partakes in the Spark Racing League, everybody that commented. I know we didn't get through them all. We see some at the end here. We really appreciate it. It's going to be an exciting season. Tune in right here every Monday night at the same time. And yeah, for Justin Wilson, this is Johnny Rapp in the Slingshot TV booth. We will see you next week.